Am I live? Holy cow, this thing's so stupid. It does the most stupidest things. I can't. I'm typing in the title and oh my god, even that is all screwed up. This is what I get for doing anything in the afternoon. I deserve this. Afternoon live stream. Okay, there we go. Save it. Hopefully that'll do it. Okay. Sorry about that. So, I didn't get a chance to stream this morning. Hopefully you all can hear me. We'll see. We'll find out very shortly. That's right. Well, now I don't have any sound, right? Of course. No, I do. If somebody could just let me know if they can hear me, so I can just kind of run my gob. Unbelievable. So, can hear. Great. Thanks. I appreciate it. So, a couple of things. The auction's over. Everything went out. So I'm pretty happy about that. Marco, I found a couple things I gotta send to you. Actually, I gotta send you an email. We are going to do one more, but it's going to be like small. It's going to be like 3 to maybe 4 lots at best. And then I've got enough stuff taped where it'll give me time to redesign everything, which should take me about 3 or 4 days with the help of my wife. I got a game plan. We're going to get it done and get this studio the way I want it, the way I liked it when I was over at the other house when we had the real nice studio. Well, I mean, it was clutter, but it was my clutter. We are going to be focusing on a lot of things. Now, I've already taped some playthroughs. I taped 3 actually. Not full, but I've got to do the second parts. I've done some really cheap games that I think everybody will really like. And I think that's really important. With everything so weird, and the way things are going, I wanted to show you guys some stuff. The first will be on the 2nd, which is the Adventurers. The second is on the 9th, and then the third one is the week after, which will be Warhammer Quest. Now, you can't get that anymore. That's not a cheap option, but I've been wanting to fit some of those in there and show off little monk stuff. Now, that is a whole different story. If you have Warhammer Quest, or you can print and play it, and proxy some miniatures or standees or whatever you want to do, I put it into a position where you guys can follow along, and I'm going to be doing some of the little monks stuff, so you get a good feel for it, and you can get a hold of him and get some really, really unique and fascinating stuff. So we're going to be showcasing his stuff. We're going to do a little tutorial to begin with, and then we're going to go right into little monk stuff. And I will be rotating videos as I get a little more comfortable taping playthroughs. I will move to bigger games that I can leave on the table, and in an hour I can tape 4 episodes, 10 minutes a piece or so, whatever that is, 3, whatever, 20, 40, 60, yeah, there you go. Might help if I utilize my brain. And I want to keep them nice and tight, small, informative, so you're not sitting there for an hour and a half watching the same playthrough. I tried watching some of my old videos when you would sit there, and I'd go live and I'd play a game for 2 to 3 hours and play live for 2 to 3 hours, and it just doesn't work really. And then you see other people, they wheel out their wives or whatever, and it's the same old thing. So I kind of want to keep things informative, short, and if you look and watch the first 10 minutes, maybe you'll watch the second 10 minutes a week later, or the third 10 minutes the week after that, or whatever, and try to mix it up. I always find that if you run too many videos in a row, like say we did a whole week of Shadows of Brimstone, well, the first one would get some good views, but you would find less, and then less, until nobody's watching the rest and watching the outcome. The other thing is not to complete something, okay? Especially if it's a particular game that is story driven. Just kind of show off a few things, show the mechanics so people feel comfortable, and see if that's worth investing any kind of money into, and that I think will be helpful. Spoilers, not a big fan, but trying to just reintroduce people to things that are out there, that I think you'll find. A lot of these things sit on game stores shelves, or they're at miniature market, and I think just doing that will help you guys out, get through what could be a very tough summer. I hope not. We all hold out hope, but the best thing, another thing, you can go to Chip Theory Games now and get 20 Strong, which is a great game. I want to show you how that plays. A lot of fun. I may do that. I really enjoyed that little itty bitty game. A lot of fun. My boys at Chip Theory. Well, I was going to stream this morning, but the dogs were kind of tired, and Gabby's been limping a little bit. So I didn't want to take her too far. So we just kind of went up and down the driveway a little bit, which is far, but not as far as we normally walk if we walk, down to Spanish Springs or the ball field, or we go to one of the other hubs. So I said, you know what, I'll come on in the afternoon. And I think that's the best thing I think I can do. And, if I promise you I'm going to do something, I'm trying to stick to what I, following through. Plain and simple. Follow through. That's what it's all about. Dug out something that I didn't even realize I had. Village Tax. I've never played it. I don't know how available it is. I primed everything. I should just start painting the doggone thing, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. What else did I want to tell you? We finished the auction. That was exhausting. Thank God. I got to thank my daughter for helping me out. She helped me yesterday. We got everything done. I'm not doing that again. I'm not ending the auction on a Monday morning, because it's so hard to kind of try to get everything done by the afternoon so you can get it mailed out, because I'm a stickler for getting everything mailed out. That drives me absolutely bonky if I don't get you guys your stuff and get it to you. I make myself crazy. I really do. But, that's me. Can't change that, right? The Leafs play tonight. My beloved Maple Leafs. They're up 1-0. But you don't trust anything. Not with the Maple Leafs. They find a way. They got such bad juju. It's ridiculous. That you feel good. They won 6-2, and you just hope they can just get out of this first series. Just beat Ottawa. Ottawa is a tough matchup. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. So, I'll be watching the game for a bit. So I'll be doing that this evening. Doing some. Oh, I taped a whole bunch of stuff today. A lot of Shadows of Brimstone stuff that I think you'll like. It's funny, I wrote Tom Bassel, and this is kind of funny, so I'm going to tell you this story. So, I was kind of just thinking last night. I couldn't sleep for a while, whatever it was that was bothering me, and I'm laying there and I'm thinking about things, and I'm thinking a lot of these Hall of Fames. If you want to do a good deed, D-Verse could use promoting their just launching campaign at GameFound to try and save their Nexus Arena expansion campaign. They're struggling with tariffs. Well, I wrote them some time ago, and to be honest with you, they kind of blew me off. So I wish them well. I hope they do all right. But, I don't know what to tell you. I can only do what I can do for myself. And that's the guy I got to look out for. What was I going to say? Because I was interested in the Nexus Arena. And, it is what it is. Oh, so I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about, we really don't have any good Hall of Fames. Gamma is shit. All right, Gamma is the biggest joke on the planet. BGG, I love Aldi, but it's very Euro eccentric, and that's BGG, and that's okay. They got their own thing, and I was thinking to myself, who could actually run a real Hall of Fame? Who knows gaming good enough to run a Hall of Fame that you would respect his opinion? Okay, well, whether you agree with it or not. Skaggs, what's up? And I thought of Tom Bassel. So I woke up and did my things and everything like that. Went to the gym, come home. I'm thinking about it. It's in the back of my head. And I said, something? I haven't bothered Tom in a long time, so I'm going to write him a note. Hey, Tom. A matter of fact, I'll read to you exactly what I said. How about that? Okay. Little inside stuff. I said, hey, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Why is there not a Dice Tower Hall of Fame? I'm not trying to kiss your butt or anything, but let's be honest. You are the only board gamer qualified to run one. You are also the only person who would be fair, honest, and knows the industry inside and out. I just think this would be something you could add to the cons you run, add to the cons you run, and add to the Dice Tower Awards. It would add some legitimacy to the hobby. As we both know, Gamma Hall of Fame is a joke at best. I just feel you are the only human who could do this right. Just a thought, and I hope you and your family are well. P.S. You need to get a MetaQuest 3 and join Pete and myself in VR. It's amazing. Felt pretty good about it. Sent it, right? No more than 20 minutes later. He sends me a link. Dicetower.com, Hall of Fame. Thanks for the nice words, though. I'm moving right now, so I can't afford any VR stuff. Hope all is well. I write back. Okay, I click on the link, and I guess not too long ago. Hold on, I'm going to click on that link again. I'm going to go into Chrome here. When did this video come out? See, hold on now. Winter Spectacular, Dice Tower Hall of Fame. Are proud to announce. I guess they announced it over the winter, and of course, I don't get a chance to watch the Dice Tower that much. But he did a nice job on this. Okay? And the reason I say that is we realize that there are hundreds of other amazing games that did not make the list. And most deserving games will be added each year as we analyze them through the impact on the hobby. Congratulations to all these games, and we look forward to the Dice Tower Hall of Fame growing as more excellent games are brought in upcoming years. To that end, we would like to introduce you to our initial slate of 110 games along with their designers, year, and release. Okay? So, you've got all these different games from Sorry to Battleship. But the cool thing about it is they didn't leave out certain games, Acquires in there. Things that you would expect. Uno, Boggle, Hortus and Terror. Cosmic Encounter, of course, should be there. Ogre, okay, is a good one to have there. Okay, this is why you put, Tom in charge of something like this. Dune, the original, 1979. He put that in there. Civilization, Axis and Allies, Trivial Pursuit. You got to put that game in there. Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detectives. That is a game that really deserves to be there. What else do we got here? Survive, Escape from Atlantis, another great game. Jenga, Scotland Yard, Talisman, okay? Good, Advanced Squad Leader. Kremlin, okay? Hero Quest. These are games that should be in there. Magic the Gathering. Robot Rally. Catan. And Catan deserves it. Hannibal, Rome versus Carthaginians. Pokemon, the trading card game. Nobody thinks about that. It's a game. Formula DE, great game. Tiger and Euphrates, Apple to Apples, Lost Cities, Path of Glory. Came out in 1999. Yeah, deserves to have a chance at being in there, right? I mean, this is why you put Tom in control of something like this. Okay, Lord of the Rings, Munchkin, got to be in there. Age of Steam, Bang, makes sense, right? Puerto Rico, there are just some games that are classic. Heroescape, Memoir 44. There's not one here I don't disagree with. Ticket to Ride, War of the Ring, okay, Arkham Horror, Richard Launius, About Damn Time, right? Twilight Imperium, deserves to be there. Twilight Struggle, Quirkle, Through the Ages. Let me keep going here. I'm going to go one more. Is that it? Oh, Lords of Waterdeep. Great game. Risk's Legacy. How many people talk about that? King of Tokyo. Castles of Burgundy. Forbidden Island. I'm skipping over some, so forgive me. Dominant Species. Alien Frontiers. Seven Wonders. The Resistance. Small World. Stone Age. I played Stone Age until my eyes bled. Pandemic. Dominion. Dixit. Battlestar Galactica. Great cutthroat game. Race for the Galaxy. Galaxy Trucker. Agricola. I mean, this is the initial list that you know. I don't know if you vote on them or whatever, but or they're already in there. But these are games that deserve to be in there. Okay, and if you have to give a caretaker to a Hall of Fame, that hopefully they would, you know, start putting certain designers in. Okay. Richard Launius, why is he not in the Hall of Fame? You know, you can go to him and say Dawn of the Zeds. You can, you know, there's 1,000 games that you could put out there. Okay, and each year it'll grow. And the caretaker of this Hall of Fame, because he loves board games more than I'll ever love them. Okay, and has an unbelievable passion for them. Okay, is Tom Vassell. And Tom Vassell should be the caretaker to the Hall of Fame. I think he is the only guy that is qualified to do such. Okay? And just to continue on this silly little journey. So after I got that email, I wrote back, boy, am I a moron. Well, glad you're doing it. This is what happens when you live on a farm, totally out of touch. Good luck with the move. Talk to you soon. You know, we contact each other here and there. You know, I like Tom. I do like Tom. I like Tom a lot. And I have a lot of respect for Tom in the fact that, you know, for what, you know, maybe because I'm older and I remember the early days of YouTube. And this is a guy that just gets it, man. I mean, he's played more games, and I've sat there with him on many times. And I sat there with a lot of people, and I just don't think anybody has that excitement to play games as much as Tom Vassell does. And he deserves to be the caretaker. Now, here's the thing, though, okay? And I did a video on this, and I talk a little bit about. There's one game that isn't on that list that I think everybody overlooks. And you'll see that video this Friday. And I talk a little bit about, because we've been talking about decisions about what I'm keeping tomorrow. You'll see, you know, as I've gone through, there are some games, you know, besides the obvious ones. I'm not going to make a video, hey, I'm going to keep Warhammer Quest, when that's all I do is talk Warhammer Quest. Too Many Bones, and anything from Chip Theory. Okay, Blood Bowl, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to make a video about that. But there were games that were on the fence. And as I start looking around here, I'm getting down and I'm starting to see a pattern. I'm starting to see how I'm thinking. I'm starting to see where I'm going. And I'm kind of shocked by it in a way. But as I scale down, I'm starting to realize the things that are important to me. Okay? And some things here belong in the Hall of Fame, and they're not. And you'll see that video Friday. Tomorrow, you'll see a video about a game I've decided to keep. Okay, so we'll talk more about that. What else was there? Got something stuck in my tooth. I just ate dinner. Figures. Oh, Talisman. What a classic. I agree. They're coming out with an expansion for it that kind of changes a few things. I'm kind of curious about it. I know my daughter. My daughter takes care of my Talisman. I gave her the Talisman, and I gave her all the Resident Evil stuff because I had painted it, and that is her favorite video game. And I wanted her to have it. You know, as I get older, I wanted her to have that, and I wanted her to have Talisman with the painted. I did all the painted figures, and I did her favorite character, and I painted that for her. So when she plays, she can have that, and that will always stay with her. And if we play it, she can bring it up here, but you know, for the most part, that's going to stay with her, and she will safeguard it because that's my baby girl, and that's what we do. So when I kick off one day, at least I know those games will be safe. Everything else will get sold. I know these kids. Okay. And played a lot of Survive back in the day. This is Glowing Turtle. Glowing Turtle, how are you? And you know, like I said, I've been taping this stuff, and it feels good to do some playthroughs instead of just, you know, I've gotten into a pattern where I've been just kind of doing reviews and, you know, talking about things and stuff like that, and getting back because I really loved it doing playthroughs. But I also realized that I couldn't do that live stuff where I'm sitting there for 5 or 6 hours. I just don't have time anymore. I'm too damn old. This place is not organized to the point where I feel that I can do something like that. But I am going to get this place to where it should be set up so when my grandkids come out here, we can do things. And there's not 9,000 things on the table like there is right now. I got Pericles on the table. Boy, I should revisit that. I really thought that was a very, very, very good game. But I've got a couple more things that I got to tape. I'm just really filling a lot of holes. It seems like I'm doing more videos now than I've ever done. And I thought I was going to cut back, but that doesn't seem to be good old Rob. That's for doggone sure. So, hey, we'll just do it. I'll do it the way I do things. And I'm feeling more and more comfortable. I'm feeling more relaxed and happy. I guess that's the best way to put it. Happy. Plain and simple. I'm looking around here thinking, okay, what can I get rid of? Can I get rid of that? No, I don't want to get rid of that. No. But you know, and I'm also taking it slow with the playthroughs. I don't want to go into something really complex right away until I feel comfortable enough and have things where I need it to be. I I've got to make some decisions on some war games. And that's going to be real hard, but I'll be able to do that. I think. There are just some. I mean, how many Battle of the Bulges can you have? You know, and I'm not really big on certain things, but I'm going to make some decisions. Excuse me, by the way, and kind of get things well in hand and figure things out. I think that's the best way to do it. You know. So I just wanted to check in. How long have I been on? 30 minutes. How quickly it goes. But I always got a story or something. Go Leafs tonight, okay? Go Leafs. I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth between that and I found an old Godzilla movie that is from Japan, and I think I'm just gonna watch it again. Um, it's not in English. It's not even dubbed. I don't even care. But I just kind of, I don't know, just one of those moods. Um, I've got to get under this table. That's the real problem. I have age ammonia underneath there, and I'm like, I got to get to that at some point. It seems I seem to be keeping a lot of the bigger games, and I'm like, where the hell am I going to put them? And yet, when I look at some of the bigger stuff, I go, do I want to get rid of that? Am I ever going to play all of it? Like, I painted Cthulhu Death May Die, and then I've got a bunch of the expansions, and they're kind of all over the place, so I need to get them all on one shelf. It's about getting things on one shelf, all the Blood Bowl stuff on one shelf, all the Warhammer Quest stuff on one shelf, Cthulhu Death May Die, the League of Dungeoneers on one shelf, and just concentrate on really just, like, I got tons of core space. I don't know. I think core space is gonna go. I think Maladum's gonna go. I mean, that would clear out a lot of space. And I keep on thinking to myself, yeah, why, just do it, because you may not play it. And then when I get rid of it, I'm going to be like, oh, what did I get rid of that for? Had to be a real good offer. But I have tons of it, so there you go. Boy, I'm just looking. I got like 50 submarine games. Do I need 50 submarine games? No, probably not. But they're all good. Mutant Chronicles, Siege of the Citadel. I'm not getting rid of that. Especially since I painted it. Even though it was from Morpheus, that didn't do justice to the game. I got old Car Wars. I got new Car Wars. I got Car Wars Arena. I ain't getting rid of that. I ain't getting rid of my ogre stuff. My original Battle Lore. I love that game. Pete calls me and he goes, "Oh my God, do you hear what's happening?" I'm like, "What? What?" He made it seem like he had the biggest secret in the world. He goes, "They're doing the Battle of Hoth." What? He goes, "Star Wars. They're doing it. Richard Borg's doing it. Just like Memoir 44. He goes, "I guess that means I don't need my Memoir 44 anymore." I went, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, Battle Hoth's coming. I'm going to get that, and I'm not going to need Memoir 44. I go, "Well, I was expecting this big, huge surprise, but, I'm not a big Star Wars guy." I go, okay, enjoy it. Of course, back in the day, I did the original Battle of the Hoth. I built a huge board for a gaming club, and God, we played that. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. The biggest problem with playing really big games like that, you end up standing around a lot, looking at each other, going, "Okay, it's your turn. What are you going to do?" And they take it so seriously instead of just going, "Yeah, I'm going to move this guy here, that guy there." And it takes a lot of fun out of it at times. That's why I just don't do that. I always think, oh boy, what can I be doing besides this? Sometimes. And then sometimes you really get into it. Like, oh God, what was I playing one time? I thought it was like the best time that we ever had. We were playing with Richard Borg. Matter of fact, I think this weekend is Recon. I'm going to have to take a look. I think Recon is this weekend. Down in Orlando. I haven't been to a convention in a long, long time. It's just not conducive for me. If I catch con crud, it's just going to send me backwards. I'll just stay here in my little abode. Make my own con. Rob Con. But, yeah, it just, I don't know. Oh God, what? I'm trying to think. Yeah, we were playing with Richard Borg, and we were playing like a life-size, huge Memoir 44. It was massive. There was 8 people on one side, 8 people on the other side, and it was a lot of fun. And that you enjoy, because he just runs a real nice game, and you have a great time with it. But that's like when Richard Launius would run an Arkham Horror event at Dice Tower Con when he used to go. And it was just so much fun, because he'd break out his own painted miniatures. He'd juice the thing up, and everybody, and of course, he'd preside over the game, and it's just always so much fun. He always just did a great job. The guy is a consummate genius and gamer. Plain and simple gamer. It just doesn't get any better than that. That's for doggone sure. Alright, my dear friends. 36 minutes. I think that's long enough. I think I've got some things I've got to take care of. We will catch you on Thursday live, as this time we'll make sure that we take the dogs for a walk. Gabby's foot should be better by now. I think she stepped on something. She doesn't seem to be having any kind of problems like that. Make sure you hit that like button. You subscribe to the old channel. It helps something. I don't know what, but everybody says it, so I figured I would say it too. And as always, I love you all. Have a great day. And we will see you Thursday when we take the pups for a walk. I'm sure I'll have something to talk about. I always do, don't I? Until next time, my dear friends, it is your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon. Have a good evening. This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.